Hey, you guys. I'm just sitting here having another glass of wine. It's actually kind of like my Friday night, even though it's Sunday, because I'm off work tomorrow. Actually, I'm off work until Friday. We've been just working like 2, 3 days, so season's slow. This is one reason, I guess, why money's been tight. But anyway, gosh, I don't know. I have 20 million things to talk about and absolutely nothing to talk about all at the same time. I was watching some videos earlier about the United Kingdom flooding, the weather going on out over there. I really hadn't talked a whole lot about that on this side of the pond, um, but apparently they've got some serious stuff going on there. I rub my neck and my chin all the time when I'm doing these videos. It's just a nervous reaction. I notice that I do it when I'm recording a video, so I apologize. I don't even think about doing it until after I've stopped and reviewed the video. But I wanted to say too, 420, if you're watching, you've been inviting me several times to Google Chats, Google Video Chats, Hangouts, and I apologize. I haven't been able to join in on any of them, but I got my webcam working again now, and the internet's back on, so um, I hope you don't stop inviting me because eventually I'll be able to join you guys. Um, so yeah, so the weather out of control. I had done a video, I guess last night or the night before, talking about some Arctic Siberian birds that have been down here in Virginia. And, the weather just, everybody knows that it's been an extreme winter. I'm not saying it's overly out of the normal, um, but been pretty harsh winter. So I just kind of found it interesting, some of the stuff I was seeing about the European weather going on. I'm going to look into that a little bit more. I watched the other video tonight. Guy was videotaping trees that had fallen over. Of course, there was snow and ice, and some people are saying that it's been the snow and ice knocking the trees over. But, you know, I was telling you guys last summer, Mike and I actually stopped the forest ranger and was asking him, what's going on with all the trees? Why are we just like randomly walking through the yard and a huge branch just falls, in front of our feet off of a perfectly good live tree? Like not only have the trees been uh, dying. Of course, I found out it's due to some hardwood eating beetle. Normally, the beetles come in and attack softwood trees, but this last couple of years they've been attacking oaks and hardwoods, and that's why we had to take several trees down out of our yard because even though they were still alive, we found the holes that were bored in them by the beetles and pulled some bark back and saw, yeah, these beetles are eating the trees, so they're going to fall on the house if we don't cut them. And that's what most of the wood is that I've been burning all winter long. So I don't necessarily know that I'm going to blame tree deaths on the ozone layer, which is what this person was referencing. I guess they had watched a video and then they started noticing trees down. There's some beetle that has infiltrated our borders from another country, and it's like if I remember correctly, the game warden was referring to it as like a Asian, whether I don't remember if it's Japanese or Chinese or Vietnamese, some kind of Asian beetle. Um, Completely devastating our woods up through here, through the Blue Ridge Mountains and eastern half of the Alleghenies slash Appalachians. So yeah, that's going on. Somebody, I guess, referenced the fact that there's a possibility that Comet Ison was what was causing all the weather effects in Europe and stuff, and I don't think it's that. I think it's the solar flares, the sun's reaction to the Earth. scientifically proven that the sun affects Earth's weather pattern. So let's stick with what we know to be a fact versus a comet that we all were watching that didn't carry through. If you made a big list of promises about the comet and then it didn't do nothing and now you're just trying to justify it, I mean, just let it go. I'm really irritated. No, I shouldn't say that. It's not irritated. Um, I'm irritated. People that live for no reason other than to irritate other people irritate me. And I shouldn't let them get to me, but there's just some people that wake up in the morning and they're so obsessed with nothing more than irritating somebody else that they're what they do to cause irritations isn't that big of a deal. It's just they're like little pesky flies. I had I know this video is just a little off topic of my normal videos. I'm rambling a little bit. I've had a few glasses of wine. It's my Friday night, so life is what it is. But there's this person who lives in our neighborhood, and when I say neighborhood, I mean, I can't see her house from here or anything, but she lives up the road a little bit. And for a lot of reasons I'm not going to list, being one of my so-called neighbors, she's not welcome at my house or in my yard. And she's not a very good person. She's done things that, like whenever kids are involved, I just don't feel like you act like an idiot around little kids, especially when they're like your grandchildren. But she does. She's psycho. She's like way out there in left field, and she does weird stuff like on our gas cans, plastic gas can. She'll sneak into the yard and cut a hole right below the neck of the gas can so that when you go to pour it into something, the gas spills out. Weird little stuff like that. And then she'll, just show up and be like, oh, hey. Well, we pretty much banned her from the house and stopped all communication. 9 months has gone by, and literally she just picks the phone up this evening and calls me out of the blue. I didn't recognize the name. They've changed, like they've got somebody else as their name listed on their caller ID. So I didn't know who it was. I answer the phone. It's this chick. And she just starts rambling on, talking to me as if we're long lost best friends. Like nothing's she was like, hey, what you doing? I was like, nothing. And she said, do you know anything about Pampered Chef cooking stones? I was like, what? No, I have no idea. She starts rambling some on, and I just hung up. And then she started trying to call me back. I didn't answer. People are... Why are there so many psycho nuts out there anymore? I mean, how brazen can you be? So, I'd share that. I don't like that. I'm not good at faking being nice. If I don't like you, I don't like you. Like, I'm not very good at being two-faced. I have, especially the older I get. When I was younger, I would have been so, like 20 years ago, I'd have been so shocked at her calling that I'd have been like, maybe I was wrong and maybe everything is okay, I would have questioned myself. But the older I get, the less room I have for stupidity and psychoticness and mean people. And one thing about being on the internet like we are now, and doing videos, there's so many mean people, mean-spirited people that present themselves that, back when I was a teenager, you wouldn't have had access to because they lived in another state, or you would never have met them, just our world was a lot smaller, and in a lot of ways it was a lot better, because now everybody's got access to anything and everything, and mean people included. Just mean-spirited, rude people. I posted a video earlier today, or maybe it was on one of my videos yesterday. Anyways, somebody makes a comment, oh, you preppers are the same, and you don't like the government taking care of your fellow citizens, yet you say nothing about corporations and blah, blah. I was an Occupy marcher, okay? I stormed the steps of Congress. Where were you? I have gone to the gun show rallies. I've gone to political events. I've gone to protests. I've carried my flag and my camera. It's all on my channel. Just take the time before you start slamming me or accusing me of not having a heart towards poor people, my fellow Americans. I'd be the first one, and you can ask just about anybody around me. My internet's been and cable were off for 2 weeks because I couldn't pay the bill, but yet I'm carrying food out of my pantry to give to people. People come to my house, I feed them. I say, you need some groceries? Let's go get you a bag of groceries. You know, I'm not saying I'm an angry individual, but I'm going to put on this video that it's for 18 and over, because I'm not only am I drinking a glass of wine and cursing, but I'm going to have one of my hand-rolled organic cigarettes that I packed myself. And yes, I know all the repercussions of smoking. Yes, I understand what it does to my physical health. Blah, 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 blah. Save your preaching, okay? I guess I just have gotten a little irritated because I've had people popping up on my videos making comments where they're making accusations about me, where clearly whatever video it is that they're watching is the very first one of my videos they've ever watched. I wish I could get people to actually watch an entire video before they make an assumptive comment, and actually before they start going on some mission to try to slam me or start a mission or a campaign against me, that they would actually take the time to research a little bit about my channel and my previous videos. It's like this one right now. I don't mind sitting here having a glass of wine in front of you, because I've made videos plenty of times where we're just having a good time partying. You know, I'm sitting here by myself right now, but I'm having a glass of wine. And the economy is tough, and I don't think everybody should be bailed out. I do think that we should do what we can to take care of ourselves, and by golly George, you know, I'm one of them that was in the qualifications that if I walked into one of the offices, they probably would have handed me all kinds of assistance, okay? It's been a tight period. But I've never asked any of you all for money or help. I've never asked my government for help. I've never asked my church for help. Well, I don't have a church, but there's churches in the area, you know what I mean? You gotta have a little bit of pride about yourself once in a while, you know? You gotta try. Get up and try. It's really easy, and I know Mike and we've had a couple periods where we had things caught up, and we were able to both stay home for months on end, spend the whole summer at home, not working, either one of us. And we did. And we enjoyed it, not working. But we weren't taking money from anybody else. We had saved money, and we were earning little bits of money, you know, by selling eggs and recycling different items that we had, and aluminum cans and stuff. You know, we had to be very sparing with our expenses, but we voluntarily made that choice and did it and enjoyed it, and took some time off, and it was great. And I hope to do it again soon. But I'm not going to go asking somebody else to pay me somebody else's tax money that is working so that I can do that. It's not how I was raised. Anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit, fuss a little bit, and I may have a little bit more time on my hands here in the near future. Anyway, I hope you guys are good. Um, you know, global warming or not, United Kingdom's underwater, and never mind. I'm not even going to give it credit. Anyway, I hope you guys are good. Peace.